What do you think the world population will be in 2037? According to research, the world population is expected to reach 10 billion in 2037. In 2024, the world population has already exceeded the 8 billion mark and will continue to increase over the years. While some places are feeling this population growth, others are surprisingly underpopulated. In this video, we will look at 10 countries with few people. Let's go to the video. Number 10. Botswana. Botswana is one of the most scenic countries in Africa. Despite its vastness, only about 2.7 million people live in this country. This is because a large part of Botswana consists of arid and barren areas such as the Kalahari Desert. This creates unfavorable conditions for settlement and prevents the population from concentrating in certain areas. The proportion of urban dwellers is 72.2% according to 2022 data, while the rest of the population lives in rural areas. Botswana experienced a serious health crisis at a time when it was struggling with HIV/AIDS. With 25,000 to 30,000 deaths a year, it is clear how far the HIV epidemic has spread. The country has taken important steps in health to prevent diseases and has health centers even in the smallest settlements. In addition to the 17 health centers in the cities, the country also has mobile health units, enabling it to provide health services to the entire population. But despite the progress made in healthcare, the impact of the pandemic continues, with a quarter of adults still struggling with the virus. Number 9. Guyana. Guyana has one of the largest intact rainforests in South America, and some areas are inaccessible to people, making urban development difficult. Guyana has less than 800 kilometers of paved roads, and like Botswana, the country has dealt with the epidemic many times. But the Ebola outbreak in West Africa, which began in 2013, has spread to Guyana, killing many people. It is estimated that 5740 Guyanese citizens have died. Worldwide, 20,000 people have died in the epidemic. Epidemics such as HIV/AIDS have caused the population to decline. Guyana has historically been a country of immigration. Particularly during the 20th century, Guyanese migrated abroad in search of political instability, economic opportunity, and other factors. These migrations have led to a decline in the local population. Number 8. Suriname. While many of Africa's least inhabitable places complain of water scarcity, South America does things differently. Water is plentiful. Suriname's area is huge, but it is mostly covered by forests and dotted with wetlands. But this lush jungle, teeming with diverse species, brings with it significant challenges. Stifling heat, relentless humidity, and dangerous wildlife limit areas suitable for settlement and make it difficult to disperse the population. Suriname is an economically developing country. The country's economy is mainly based on agriculture, mining, and services. However, steady economic growth has not been achieved and jobs are scarce. There are no roads in the interior, where rivers are the primary means of transportation. These factors, combined with economic hardship, have led to high levels of emigration and a population density of only 3.86 people per square kilometer. The combination of these factors has led to Suriname's relatively low population. Number 7. Libya. Located in the heart of the Sahara Desert, 90% of this 1.76 million square kilometer country is covered by a vast sea of sand the size of Alaska, a barren and arid geography that creates unsuitable conditions for settlement and causes population decline. It is no surprise then that Libya is the second driest country in the world, with an average annual rainfall of only 56 mm or 2.2 inches. On the other hand, Libya has no rivers. Libya has experienced political turmoil and conflict in recent years. In particular, the civil war in 2011 and the political instability that followed led to migration and depopulation in the country. Libya is also a country on the migration routes from Africa to Europe. Therefore, there are migrations from Libya to Europe, leading to a decline in the population. Number 6. Mauritania. Mauritania is 3 times the size of Germany, but its population of just 4.86 million pales in comparison to Metro Berlin. Mauritania is one of the world's lowest tourist destinations, attracting only 2,000 tourists a year. The only reason for such a small population is water scarcity. With a largely desert climate, Mauritania is the 7th driest country in the world, with only 89 mm or 3.5 inches of rainfall annually. As a result, the population is concentrated in coastal cities such as Nouakchott and Nouadhibou along the Senegal River. the country's only permanent water source, where 0.5% of arable land is located. The central and eastern regions, which are devoid of human settlements, are almost inaccessible. It is difficult to explore and travel in this country with its difficult and hot roads. Anyone traveling here should check their sanity. Number 5. Iceland. Iceland is an island country located in the North Atlantic. Iceland's sparse population density of only 3.82 people per square kilometer is not only due to its icy isolation. Although its total area is small, most of it is covered by mountains and volcanoes. Iceland has milder weather than many populous cities. The majority of the population lost their lives due to epidemics, famines, piracy, and volcanic eruptions that hit the region at different dates in the 15th, 18th centuries. These volcanic eruptions rendered large areas uninhabitable. Only 20% of Iceland is inhabitable, and 1.5% is suitable for agriculture. As a result, most crops are either imported or grown in greenhouses. Largely dependent on fishing, 95% of Iceland's 394,000 inhabitants prefer to live on the coast where the climate is milder and the risk of volcanoes is reduced. Number 4. Australia. Although Australia is the 6th largest country on Earth, its population is relatively small. With an area of 7.7 million square kilometers, Australia is smaller than Texas alone, with a population of 26.8 million. Why is this vast continent with an exceptionally high quality of life and breathtaking landscapes so sparsely populated with only 3.48 people per square kilometer? Because the Australian plate is the oldest landmass on Earth. Besides being incredibly geologically ancient, it lacks major rivers like the Nile, Tigris, and Euphrates, and even the Colorado River, which alone has more flow than all of Australia's rivers combined. This is because Australia is the flattest continent, with no glaciers and little snowmelt to feed the rivers. For a long time, Australia's immigration policy was controlled and limited. However, since the mid-20th century, immigration policies have changed, and immigration to Australia has increased. However, the population is still low compared to other large countries. Number 3. Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is the 9th largest country in the world and has a very large area. However, the distribution of the population within this large area is uneven. The north of the country is mostly steppe areas and has a lower population density. The southern regions have mountainous areas and deserts. The population is generally concentrated in urban centers and agricultural areas. Kazakhstan's climate is quite diverse. The northern regions are characterized by harsh winters and a cold climate, which creates difficult conditions for settlement. The south is characterized by hot and arid climates, so you can experience both heat and cold very severely. Here, under such harsh conditions, arable land is a precious commodity and is mostly found near the more forgiving mountainous regions in the east, north, and south. You will find most people settled in these temperate regions and trying to make the best of it. However, Kazakhstan gained its independence after the collapse of the Soviet Union. The changes experienced in this process may have caused population dispersion and changes in the demographic structure. Kazakhstan has a significant migrant population in Central Asia. Especially after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, there has been migration from Russia and other former Soviet republics. Similarly, there has been immigration from Kazakhstan. Number 2. Mongolia. In Mongolia, most of the country is covered by deserts, mountains, and steppes. This scattered geographical structure results in limited areas suitable for settlement and a shrinking population. With 156 million square kilometers, Mongolia is a vast landmass twice the size of Texas. But have you ever wondered why Mongolia today has a population of only 3.45 million? Mongolia's climate is generally harsh and continental. Winters are cold and long, and summers are short and cool. And also, Mongolia has historically been known for its nomadic lifestyle. Traditionally, Mongolian people have been engaged in animal husbandry and migrated from pasture to pasture. This lifestyle has contributed to a dispersed population and a slow transition to settled life. Mongolia is experiencing migration, especially to big cities and other countries. Population density is higher in the capital Ulaanbaatar, but low in rural areas. There is also migration to neighboring countries such as Russia and China. Make sure you like the video and subscribe before we move on to our final country. Number 1. Namibia. Namibia is a country with a large area but a low population density. The Namib Desert, the oldest desert on Earth, stretches for 1,900 kilometers along the entire Namibian coastline and receives less than 2 mm or 0.08 inches of rainfall annually. Most of Namibia has a desert climate. Hot, arid, and arid climatic conditions make it difficult for people to survive. Namibia's economy is mainly based on mining, fishing, and tourism. However, economic opportunities are limited and jobs are scarce. Namibia has experienced political instability for many years under the German colonial period and the Republic of South Africa. Conflicts and migration during these periods may have led to population decline or a dispersed population structure.